Have you ever woken up and felt like your body just isn't cooperating the way it used to? Maybe it's getting a little harder to spring out of bed, or perhaps you find yourself running out of energy before the afternoon even hits. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. But here's the good news. Boosting your health and vitality doesn't have to mean making drastic changes. In fact, some of the most powerful improvements come from the simplest shifts in your daily habits. Today, we're going to talk about a few small but mighty changes that can help you feel stronger, livelier, and even a little younger, no matter what your age is. And trust me, these aren't complicated routines or overwhelming plans. They're practical, doable steps that fit right into your everyday life. So let's dive right in. One of the first and most effective changes you can make starts with something we all do: drinking water. It sounds so simple, right? But staying hydrated is one of the most underrated secrets to feeling good. As we get older, our sense of thirst can become less reliable, meaning we might not always notice when we need a drink. Dehydration can sneak up on us, leading to fatigue, dizziness, and even joint pain. Just carrying a small water bottle around the house or keeping a glass of water nearby can make a bigger difference than you might expect. Some folks even like to flavor their water naturally with a few slices of lemon or cucumber to make it a little more exciting. However you choose to do it, staying hydrated is like giving your body a daily gift. Now, speaking of gifts to yourself, let's talk about movement. I'm not saying you need to start training for a marathon or spend hours in a gym. Far from it. Even gentle, consistent movement can work wonders for your health. A short walk around your neighborhood, a little stretching in the morning, or even dancing a little while you tidy up the house. All of it counts. Moving your body keeps your joints flexible, your muscles strong, and your heart happy. Plus, it lifts your mood in ways you might not even realize until you start doing it regularly. Think about finding a little window of time each day, maybe right after breakfast or just before dinner, and dedicating it to a few minutes of joyful movement. It's not about pushing yourself hard. It's about treating your body with the care and attention it deserves. Another small but powerful shift is something that many people don't even think about: getting enough natural light. Our bodies are designed to respond to the rhythms of nature, and sunlight plays a big role in that. It helps regulate our sleep, boosts our mood, and even supports bone health by helping us produce vitamin D. Spending a little time outside each day, even just sitting on the porch, tending to a few plants, or taking a leisurely stroll, can refresh your mind and body in incredible ways. And on days when the weather isn't cooperating, just opening up the curtains wide and letting the daylight flood in can still help you feel more energized and alive. When we combine simple habits like drinking more water, moving a little more each day, and soaking in natural light, we create a foundation that supports better health without overwhelming ourselves. These small changes don't require big leaps. They're about gently nudging your daily routine in a way that feels good and sustainable. As we keep going, we're going to build on this momentum and explore even more simple shifts that can add up to big results. Ready to keep going with me? Let's talk about the next important change that can make a real difference. Now, another simple change that can create a huge ripple effect in your health is paying a little more attention to what's on your plate. And no, this isn't about complicated diets or counting every calorie. It's about adding more of the good stuff, the foods that naturally nourish your body and lift your energy. One of the easiest ways to start? Think color. Fresh fruits and vegetables in vibrant colors bring a whole array of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your body absolutely loves. When you add more colors to your meals, rich reds from tomatoes, deep greens from spinach, bright oranges from carrots, you're giving your body a wide variety of nutrients it needs to stay strong and resilient. You don't have to overhaul every meal overnight. Maybe it's as simple as tossing a handful of berries onto your morning oatmeal or adding an extra vegetable to your dinner plate. Small choices again and again start to build into real, noticeable changes in how you feel. And while we're talking about food, let's not forget about protein. As we age, maintaining our muscle strength becomes even more important for staying active and independent. Yet many people find they aren't getting quite enough protein each day. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. Just adding a bit more lean protein to your meals can support your muscles and help you stay strong. Foods like eggs, yogurt, beans, or a small piece of chicken or fish are easy ways to boost your protein intake without making things complicated. Sometimes it's just a matter of being mindful, asking yourself, is there a little bit of protein on my plate? And adjusting if needed. Now, let's talk about another change that might seem small, but is truly powerful: prioritizing sleep. Good, restful sleep isn't a luxury. It's a foundation for good health. But for many seniors, getting a solid night's sleep becomes more challenging. Maybe you find yourself waking up a few times during the night, or tossing and turning more than you used to. That's completely normal, but there are gentle changes you can make to support better sleep. One of the best things you can do is create a calming bedtime routine. Just like we use to set bedtime routines for kids, we can do the same for ourselves. Maybe that's turning off bright screens an hour before bed, sipping a cup of herbal tea, or listening to soothing music. Creating a habit of winding down sends a signal to your body that it's time to rest. And if possible, try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. It sounds simple, but your body's internal clock thrives on that kind of regularity. And if you wake up during the night, which happens to all of us, try not to stress about it. Sometimes just resting quietly, focusing on slow, deep breaths can still be restorative. Sleep isn't just about the quantity, it's about the quality. And nurturing a peaceful bedtime habit can make your nights more restful and your days much more vibrant. All these small, simple changes, adding more colorful foods, boosting your protein, tending to your sleep, they aren't about achieving perfection. They're about giving yourself little daily boosts, stacking small wins on top of each other. Over time, they create a life that feels fuller, brighter, and healthier. And as we continue, there's one more incredibly important piece we haven't talked about yet, something that feeds not just your body, but also your heart and spirit. Let's take a closer look at how tending to your emotional well-being can make just as much of a difference as anything you put on your plate or how much you move your body. When we think about health, it's so easy to focus only on the physical, what we eat, how we move, how we sleep. But real, lasting health also comes from how we feel inside. Our emotional well-being shapes the way we experience each day. And taking simple steps to nurture it can transform not just our mood, but our entire sense of vitality. One of the most powerful and beautifully simple ways to boost emotional health is by staying connected. Human beings are wired for connection. A kind word, a friendly conversation, a shared laugh. These small moments can fill our hearts in ways that no medicine ever could. It doesn't have to be complicated. A short phone call with an old friend, waving hello to a neighbor, chatting with someone at the grocery store. Each one is a thread that weaves a stronger, more joyful life. If you're someone who feels a little isolated these days, know that you're not alone. And you don't have to make big leaps to change it. Sometimes just making a habit of reaching out once a week, sending a note, joining a small group at your community center, or saying yes to a coffee invitation can gently open new doors of connection. It's not about the number of people you know. It's about the quality of the connections you nurture. Another wonderful change that often gets overlooked is the practice of gratitude. Taking just a few moments each day to think about, or even write down, things you're grateful for can shift your entire perspective. It can be something as big as a grandchild's smile, or as simple as the warmth of a morning sunbeam through your window. Gratitude doesn't erase life's challenges, but it gives you a lens that lets the good shine a little brighter. It trains your mind to notice the beauty that is already here, right in front of you. And speaking of noticing beauty, never underestimate the healing power of doing things that bring you joy. Maybe it's gardening, painting, playing an instrument, or simply taking a slow walk and watching the birds. Carving out time for these simple pleasures isn't selfish, it's essential. It nourishes your spirit in ways that ripple out into your health, your energy, and your outlook on life. When you blend these emotional habits, connection, gratitude, joy, with the physical habits we've already talked about, hydration, movement, sunlight, nourishing foods, good sleep, you're building a life that feels supported on every level. Mind, body, and heart all working together. And here's the beautiful truth. It's never too late to start. No matter your age, no matter your current circumstances, every single small change you make is a victory. Every glass of water you drink, every gentle walk you take, every conversation you enjoy, every moment of gratitude you notice, they all add up. They all move you forward toward a healthier, happier life. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your world overnight. Just one small, loving choice at a time. That's where the magic lives. That's where lasting change begins. If today's conversation has sparked any ideas or feelings for you, I'd love to hear about it. Please share your thoughts or experiences down in the comments. It's always such a gift to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content made just for you. Here's to living your best, healthiest, happiest life, one beautiful, simple change at a time. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.